Hi, this is Kizzi and welcome to our video of 6 essential strategies that will take your game-changing business to the next level. Over the past couple of weeks, we reached out to our Game Changers community and asked successful business leaders, what one piece of advice would you offer a business owner that will really help them improve their chances of succeeding? And the result, well, it's given me lots of food for thought, and I'm pretty sure you'll find some of these nuggets of wisdom valuable and actionable today. This video has been brought to you in association with the book Insiders Know How Running Your Own Business, written by some of industry's most knowledgeable thought leaders. Insiders Know How Running Your Own Business is produced in an informative, conversational style with valuable, insightful advice and case studies taken from real business people running real businesses. To pick up your copy of Insiders Know How Running Your Own Business, just click the link in the description box of this video. Oh, and don't forget, if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe and share, because sharing is caring. Okay, here are the 6 essential strategies that will take your game-changing business to the next level. Listen, learn, and innovate.
Hi, my name is Rick Schnabel, and I'm the Chief Transformational Officer of Life Beyond Limits. We are a transformational training company, and there's one piece of information that I got many years ago from one of my mentors that made a massive difference to my business, and I'd like to share that with you today, and hopefully you can apply this in your own business to make a huge difference. So the piece of information I was given was the size of your business is directly connected to the size of your promise. So a promise is a little bit like or akin to a brand promise. So let me give you some examples so that you can get a sense of this. So Coca-Cola, for example, their promise is to inspire moments of optimism and uplift. That's their promise. And many of their commercials are very much geared around that particular promise. Now, Nike's promise is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. Apple to create products based on seeing the world a little differently. And Google's is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. These are promises that these companies are making, and they're certainly very large companies. Now, before having that conversation with my mentor, who suggested that if I wanted to grow my business, I needed to grow my promise, we didn't have one. We didn't have a promise whatsoever. And, unlike BMW, who pitched themselves to a degree where their promise is to build the ultimate driving machine, we just didn't have a promise. Our company, though, within its title, Life Beyond Limits, actually is almost creating a promise within itself. But we worked very specifically to work out what was the key ingredient that we wanted to offer with our training programs, with our coaching, with all of the various books and products that we provide. And that was one thing: to empower your mindset to become the highest possible version of you. And that became our absolute promise. Now, once we did that, we equally created a positioning line of transformational trainers. And so we were looking for people who really couldn't get to where they wanted to be. And because of our tools and because of our excellence in that space, we knew how to help a person to shift their thinking so that they could create a whole new level of success in their lives. So please apply it, put it into your business, and live a life beyond limits. My name is Rick Schnabel from Life Beyond Limits, and hopefully somewhere along the line we'll get to meet. Bye for now.
Hi, I'm Jessica Ritchie, and I create connected personal and business brands through strategic marketing, branding, and personal energy management. I'm based in Brisbane, in Queensland, Australia. And what makes me a little bit different to other marketers is that I'm also a Reiki master, NLP practitioner, and a certified life and business coach. So this gives me the unique skill set to really discover and harness the unique energy and essence of a person or brand, and I then amplify that in their marketing, communications, and collateral. So, as a business builder and a game changer, what is it that you can do to stand out and make your mark? Well, I believe that is identity. Identity sets the foundation for success. So, where are you at with your identity? Do you have a strong sense of self? Do you have high self-worth and self-value? Do you know what your core values are? Do you know what sets you apart? What are your unique skills so that you can stand out in your industry? Do you have imposter syndrome come and visit and say things like, who are you to start a business or build a business? Well, we can kick that to the curb. Do you have limiting beliefs that you're aware of? It's important to discover what they are so that they can be removed to propel you forward. What is it that you fear? And also your intuition, your identity, your intuition is part of that. It helps aid in successful decision-making and quick decision-making. And also having a strong identity allows you to act and live with integrity and to be congruent in all that you are and all that you do. So what's your identity like? Do you have a rock solid identity so that you can rock and make your mark in your business, career, and also in life?
Hi there, I'm Julie B. I'm an entrepreneur and business owner in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And through speaking, consulting, and creating online content, I help business owners become better leaders. So for all those business owners and leaders out there in the room today, I've got one question for you. Do you know which hat you're wearing? I found that most leaders, just like me and you, we have to wear both the managerial hat and the leadership hat at the same time. And I'd like to give you some tips about how to go back and forth between the two roles because they are different and they require different skill sets. So the first tip is just remember this mantra. You lead your people, but you manage the work. You lead people, you manage work. Just think about that for a few minutes. The next tip is when you have to go back and forth between being a leader and a manager, sometimes it helps to say it out loud. So if you're in a meeting and you need to go from manager to leader, you could say something like, okay, I'm taking off my managerial hat and I'm putting my leadership hat on. Same goes the other way. If you're going from leader to manager, you can say, okay, I'm taking my leadership hat off and putting my manager cap back on. Listen, I know it sounds cheesy, but it works because you're saying it out loud. So you hear it and your people hear it. And that will let them know and even let you know where you are and what role you're filling at that time. And then finally, try to separate the tools you use between leadership tools and managerial tools. A leadership tool might be assessments or professional development plans. Management tools are project management software and laptops, things that you use to get the work done. So with those 3 tips, hopefully you can navigate the roles between manager and leader a little bit more seamlessly because listen, every leader I know has to manage sometimes. It's just part of the job. Now, if you only walk away from this video with one thing today, let it be this. Whenever you are engaging with your team, your staff, your employees, always know which hat you are wearing.
Hello everyone, my name is Haleem Washington. I am a serial entrepreneur, author, and business coach based here out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm here to share my essential tips on business success with you today. Two of mine, my two favorite, I'll start with the first one is flexibility. Everybody said, wow, that's probably so simple, but it's really not. If you are an entrepreneur now, you gotta know that one of the most important things you have to have in your arsenal is flexibility. You have to have a huge level of flexibility because things do not go according to plan when you're doing business. We all have this amazing business plan that we create when we're starting our business, or at least I hope we do. And it has this line that goes show you shooting straight to the top. However, if you really look at it over the years, that line is just as squiggly as it want to be, right? And that's because things didn't always go according to plan. And that's totally okay. That's just the nature of the beast. However, in order for you to be successful, you have to be okay with that. You have to be willing to work in those type of situations. A lot of times people are not going to move according to your plan. A lot of times people aren't privy to your plan. And so they have their own plans. And sometimes it just doesn't line up. The point of the matter is, as long as you're able to execute and you're able to get things done. However, I just want to drive it home that you're going to have to be flexible, because most of the time, not some of the time, most of the time, it's not going to go according to plan. So if you have that flexibility, you'll be fine. That leads me to my second point, perfecting your practice. That's just a fancy way of saying building good habits. Because when we build good habits, it makes it easier for us to be flexible. We're prepared for whatever situation that we're thrown into. Now, we all know that it takes time to build a good habit, and it takes time to perfect your craft. So as you're going through your business journey and you're perfecting your practice, you're building good habits like showing up on time, you're about communication and treating your employees the way they're supposed to be treated, great customer service, those things, they start to become commonplace. And so it doesn't matter what circumstance you're in, no matter what situation you find yourself into, you're still going to perform at that high level because it's just second nature. So if you're flexible and you perfect your practice, i.e. build great habits, you should be able to be extremely successful in business. Again, I'm not saying that you're not going to have your ups and downs, because again, that's just the nature of the beast, but you will still be able to perform at a high level and also be able to get things done. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Hello, my name is Ashley Carr, and I'm the Managing Director and Founder of Neo PR, a Buckinghamshire-based B2B technology PR agency where we deliver PR outreach campaigns that are content-rich with relevant and meaningful messages that resonate and start a conversation. Our main goal is getting our clients heard above the background noise, and this is something that as a team we do successfully. But the key word in this is team, and having the right people in your organization that creates that difference. Businesses of all shapes and sizes have been through a roller coaster over the last 18 months, particularly with culture and recruitment. COVID-19 has created both new opportunities as well as drawbacks for all organizations, including the transition to hybrid working, which is loved by many, but there's also the Great Resignation, which 2021 is being referred to. Research has shown that since the pandemic, employees are looking to or have left their current role. Almost a quarter of workers are actively planning to change employers in the next few months, meaning that just as we seem to be getting over the worst of the pandemic, a new problem seems to have arisen for business. And that is, your talent may be looking for another role. And if you aren't already ahead of this curve, it's likely you might well be behind it. Most companies, regardless of their size, get recruiting wrong, as they see it as an event-driven activity in that they don't start looking for someone until they have a vacancy. This is fundamentally flawed and puts them constantly behind the game. They don't start looking until it's already too late. It leaves businesses unprepared, and in today's environment, where there are more vacancies than talent to fill them, it's potentially stunting growth for many organizations. My key piece of advice for any business manager, whether it's a startup or corporate organization, is that businesses today should always be recruiting and sometimes hiring. This outlook provides a constant and consistent drive to find talent and then hiring ahead of need where possible. At Neo PR, this is something that we have implemented and allows us to put our best foot forward, especially when it comes to finding new business. Why frantically search for talent to join your business when you realize you lack the sufficient resources, when we can keep this streamlined process happening in the background? This approach doesn't mean we always have open positions, but if we do come across amazing talent who are potential additions to the team, then we can make that decision at the appropriate time.
Hello, my name is Alejandro Turrell, and I am the CEO and founder of LastBasic, the world's only platform for inventors to transform their ideas into working prototypes. I used to work in traditional consultancies. There, we discovered how inefficient certain processes could be, so we decided to make things different. We started mixing certain disruptive new concepts with manufacturing technologies, and after all that mix, the output was a tool that helps democratizing the access to technology. So let me give you a piece of advice. When you're setting up a business, everyone has an opinion, regardless of how much they know about your business. Please always remember that you know your business is the best. You have to go in a bit blind, shut up the critics, and focus on making your own decisions. Make sure you're doing the right thing by yourself and don't let anyone make you feel uncomfortable about making your own decisions.